Hey, Shalom, brother Jose. How you doing, Op? Glad to hear you feeling better, Op. Shalom, shalom, sister clever lawyer. How you doing, sis? Yeah, you already know, brother Jose. Sometimes while I'm getting prepared, I just uh, wait on brothers and sisters to come in. So that's why I won't have my screen up or have the microphone on. Shalom, Soldier Radis Talk. How y'all doing, Op? Shalom, stop lying for real, Op. Shalom, sister Mary Houston. House of brother Daniel. Shalom, Op. Brother Daniel and family. Shalom. Can't wait to see y'all for Tabernacle. Yeah, we good, We good, Soldier Razatot. Uncle Razatot. uh yeah, can't wait to see our Battle Axe family from Houston, Maine, come up for the Tabernacles. We always have a great time. We'll be at the same spot, so look forward to seeing y'all there. Look. Plenty forward. Just waiting for a few more brothers and sisters to come in. Shalom, shalom, Soldier Ezra in the building. Shalom, Shalom. No, we had a great camp yesterday. Brothers did some great teaching, man. Like we say, just want to make sure brothers is continuing in that same spirit, man. Feeding the sheep, making sure we edifying the people, making sure questions get answered, and they understand the message that the Most High God is bringing. Thanks, man. Sister Clever Lord got a question. She says, my question is James 1:23. If any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he's like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. Yeah. That natural face in a glass is just talking about a mirror. Meaning, when you look in a mirror, you see yourself. As soon as you leave that mirror, you straightway forget about your face. It's just going into a similitude to where how you could quickly stop keeping the commandments, for lack of better words. Now, stop lying. We don't have a camp in Kansas City, Missouri. But like we always tell brothers and sisters or brothers, man, we always looking for brothers. Maybe, hey, you built up enough. Maybe you could get a battle axe started in Kansas City, Missouri. Most High God is always looking for brothers that's ready to take up the mantle and help push this truth to a particular area. And I know a lot of times brothers have to be ready for that call too, man. Shalom, Lady Dasha, saying hello, experiencing technical difficulties again. No, that's what I was telling. A lot of times when I get ready for my class, Lady Dasha, I will just have it playing while I'm getting ready. That's all. I just have it to where I'm just waiting for brothers and sisters to get logged in. That's all. So I won't have my camera showing or my mic on till I get all the way prepared. Like I said, just waiting for brothers and sisters to come in. Shalom, shalom, brother Lamar. Battle axes. Shalom, Ox. Brother Lamar and brother Jose out there in California, man. What you think about that, brother? Stop lying. Sure, all praise, Ox. I say I know brothers and sisters been seeing the things transpiring in the earth. You kind of want to always watch and pray, like Christ said. I know brothers and sisters see that the time is speeding up, man. I say it seemed like it was just last month. Now shoot, this month gonna pass again. Shalom, sister Nakut Bath Israel. Shalom, sis, how you doing? And we're just formally waiting for brothers and sisters to come in. But I would say go ahead and get started. First off, giving all honor and praises to the Most High and to His Son Yahushua. This is Captain Benaniah with the battle axes of the Most High. Coming to you with another Sunday smoke class Q&A. Like I say, brothers and sisters, got any questions, any smoke, click brothers and sisters in the link. We can talk, discuss the matter, and go through the precepts. So, like I say, go ahead and ask your questions. That's what we're here for. Yeah, like Soldier Razor said, the Sabbath gonna be in a few more hours, man. Ain't lying, Doc. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, Aki, you do have to be careful. I'm glad that you said that, brother. Stop lying. You have to be careful about that. No, Aki said he went out by himself and almost got jumped by the 2/3. So that is a possibility that could happen. Out, that's why we try to tell brothers, even like with Officer Yaakov. So I know brothers be down there doing unity count with brothers from WFI and sometimes with brothers from Sakari, So Ak is down there one deep. So that's what we told Ak. It's okay if they go out all together, but we didn't let Ak hold count by itself either. So you do have to be careful about that. And even let's say Christ sent them out, sent them out 2 by 2. So Shalom, brother Dexter, how you doing, Ak? Let's say any questions. Do I really, sis? I know the lady doctor said I look pissed off. I know I was getting that earlier. We go play basketball with my son on Sundays. And the sister at the thing was saying that about me. Like, sister, I just have a stern look. So, but no, I was kind of smiling in that one. And you say, well, we wouldn't no questions, any comments, anything. Remember, brothers and sisters, uh, we got tabernacles coming up. So we want to make sure that brothers and sisters are preparing with your tents. Make sure that brothers and sisters are preparing to celebrate the tabernacles. That's one of the 3 main high holy days that were commanded. Even though we know we're supposed to be in Jerusalem, but hey, we're still practicing a righteous rehearsal. So that is one of the main high holy days that we're commanded to celebrate. So this is what I want. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 10 and verse 1. Trying to see if that's what I want. Because you do have to be careful about that, brother. Stop lying, because shoot, our people hate what we doing out there. They most definitely hate it. This is the book of Luke, chapter 10, and we'll start at verse 1. After these things, the Lord appointed other servants, other 70 also, and sent them 2 and 2 before his face into every city and place, whither he himself would come. So we see even in this account where Christ sent the 70 elders out 2 by 2. Basically you have one teacher, one reader, and basically for brothers to cover each other's back. Because we know a lot of times our people hate when we out there reading the Bible. Our people hate those things, man. That literally show you how ungodly our people are. and you see what spirit that brothers and sisters really do work in, because they hate that. You say you love the Lord, but you never even know the Lord, because if you did, you would accept the words that we're reading out of the Bible. So we see even in accounts, Christ sent them out 2 by 2. And he said, and he told them, take no script, meaning the Most High God, the Spirit will give you utterance on what you need to speak and teach. That's why it's very pivotal that brothers do what? Study to show themselves approved. Meaning what? You have to equip yourself to be able to deal with any topic that comes up. If a brother is out there on the streets and you pretty much not ready to deal with some form of topic, mainly according to Christianity, then you have to get your study habits up, man. They always ask that, hey, we study. We study and we try to learn more before than we had that year. And brothers know the areas that they weak in. You may be weak in secular history. A brother may be weak at remember the precepts. A brother may be weak in timelines. Well, brother, you have to study on those things, man. You have to study up and strengthen yourself according to the scriptures. It says, verse 2, therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. So it's not going to be very many brothers that be with brothers when you up and start an account. When we try to get brothers to get counts started in other particular areas, why people like our spirit and how we teach the Bible. So the Most High God could very well be calling on you to set those things up. Camps, that's how camps start, even in the scriptures. It always start out of somebody's house. Then the Most High God adds to it. Then we collectively come on one accord and start saving money to maybe take it to a recreation center, renting out buildings. When the Most High God bring a few more laborers, then guess what? Take up that money, and eventually the Lord will bless us with a building. And that's always the goal. Always the goal. It says, therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. So we pray that the Most High God always send us brothers and sisters that want to do this work. Mainly the brothers, because we want the brothers to be out there on the streets, standing strong for the Most High, understanding the precepts, being able to be readers, be teachers, being holders of posts, watching out for brothers' backs, and so on and so forth. We want to look strong out there, man. So yeah, you have to pray for those things, brother. No lie. Shalom, shalom, sister Adelia and family. Shalom, sis. Sister Clever Lord said, James 3:1, my brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. That's right. Meaning what? You have to understand, by us being a leader, brothers that the Most High God have set over congregations, we have to understand and watch out for the judgment that we bring out. Because if you could bring out a wrong judgment or an unjust judgment, you held to a higher standard. This is what this is going into. Meaning, don't be rulers like lions, saying, asking brothers to do things that yourself wouldn't do. So this is what James 3:1 is going into. That's a great precept, because sometimes brothers can abuse the power that the Most High God has given them. We've seen that throughout the scriptures. You see the situation with Ahab coveting Naboth's land, and he took it. So we see in situations like these. There's the book of James, chapter 3, verse 1, and it reads, my brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. So those are particular areas that brothers have to watch out for. If the Most High God bless a brother to be over a congregation, that's a great work, man. It's a great work when traded for nothing in the world. But you want to make sure that you are guiding brothers according to the scriptures, not ruling like lions, so on and so forth, that you're bringing out just judgment. Let's go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and 35. We'll start up. Book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 15, and it reads, ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the persons of the poor, nor honor the persons of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. So this is a job of a leader to judge righteously. You don't want to bring a harsher punishment on a brother that doesn't have a lot of money. And you don't want to give an easier punishment to a brother that has a lot of money. If a brother has a lot of money, he went off, guess what? You got to bring that same judgment as if you was going to bring on that poor person if he went off. This is what this is going into. James chapter 3, verse 1. That thing is heavy. Because you will have certain brothers that will abuse their power, rule like a lion. You see those things sometimes that come up, so that's what that's going into. Time is swinging by fast. It says, I like Sunday class. He shuts down all the scoffers. We try to, Sister Lady Dasha says, Cap, yeah, they say the earth is not taking a full 24 hours to make it spin axis. They say it's caused by global warming. Damn. Esau is hell. So we know that the Most High God is just speeding up the time. We know Esau was trying to put signs behind it. But hey, we see the power and the glory of the Most High. We got Brother Ray Battle Axes of Minnesota. So we had that brother up there, Minnesota. He's by himself because I know we had Brother Jonathan started a new job, so he's further down this way. So you see brothers that are a part of us that be one deep in particular areas, so brothers know how to handle certain situations, may do like a fly mission, just talk with brothers when the opportunity present itself, but like we say, we have always send brothers out, like you say, with at least 2 or more people, because we always have to have brother recording for our safety, and one teacher, one reader, and preferably somebody on the camera. It says, I have my Bible and notebook, keep notes so I can remember. My favorite class is Friday. The guy, what's alopecia? Don't know his name. Yeah, you have to give me more on that. Oh, Soji Hood. I'm like, who? What the hell? No, nothing happened with him. I'm just giving brother Stop Line was asking, did we have a camp up there in Kansas City, Missouri? And I was letting them know that we didn't. And letting them know, hey, the Most High God could put on this spirit to start a battle axes up there. And he was saying how he went out and the wicked of our people almost tried to jump him, so our protocols, we try to send brothers out at least 2 or 3 deep, like we say, with one reader, a teacher, and somebody over the camera. So that's what he was referring to. Now, Officer Yaakov is good. Exodus 14:14 is right out, so Sister Monet Sims questions Exodus chapter 12, verse 40 through 41. Could you explain this? So should we come out of bondage out of 400 years? No. What that's talking about the prophecy that Abraham got, sis. I know a lot of times people think that prophecy is talking about America, but we've been over here in bondage in America for way over that time. Counting 1492, so let's get there right quick. Let's go to the book of Exodus. Chapter 12 and verse 40. So a lot of people think that this is talking about America. It is not talking about America. This is the book of Exodus chapter 12 and verse 40, and it reads, now the sojourning of the children of Israel dwelt in Egypt. Salaki. Now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. So they take that and try to apply it to this time. But if you understand that Native Americans and Mexican Americans are Israelites as well, you would know that captivity is way beyond 400 and some years. This prophecy, Sister Monet Sims, is referring to Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. Let's get there right quick. This is the prophecy that Abraham got, that the Most High God gave Abraham. This is the book of Genesis chapter 15 and verse 13, and it reads, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. The seed that he's talking about is the children of Israel, because we know Abraham had Isaac. Isaac had Jacob. Jacob had the 12 tribes of Israel. And this was a prophecy that the Most High God was giving Abraham, that the children of Israel would go into bondage under the Egyptians. Verse 13 from the top again. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. So this is what this prophecy is going out talking about. It says, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. So we know that this is not talking about now, because guess what? We're still in captivity. This is referring to what? The time of the Exodus. Make sure you write that precept next to that, sis. Like I say, through thy precepts we get understanding, therefore we hate every false way. Let's go back. This is the book of Exodus chapter 12, and we're going to start up at verse 40. The book of Exodus chapter 12 and verse 40. It says, now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the self-same day, it came to pass that all the hosts of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt. So we see that. Let's jump up to verse 35. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses. And they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver, jewels of gold, and raiment. It goes into what we just read in the book of Genesis chapter 15, verse 13, how we came out from under the bondage of the Egyptians and we spoiled them. This is letting you know that this is talking about at this time, because we took verse 36 again, verse 35, jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians. So this is that prophecy that was fulfilled during the time of the Exodus, sis. Ecclesiastes, like Soldier Restock said, two are greater than one are greater. Two are greater than one. Salakia, brothers and sisters. It says, no sugar and tank, sir. You have a manly attentiveness. I'm sure the prophets of Wakalana, man of Yah. All praises. We have to, like we say, be austere and let our people know that, it's not a game when we out there. We have a good time with our people. When they come in a meek and humble spirit, we letting our people know that we ain't not playing the game. Shalom, y'all, I'm driving the truck. All praise out. Yeah, come out. It is considered favoritism if you like other teachers. Well, yeah, the Most High God has favorites, sis. There's nothing wrong with having favorite teachers. I have favorite teachers. Everybody have favorite teachers. A brother that you may like more than another brother. So, some of my favorite teachers, Bishop Nathaniel. I like a lot of brothers. Brother Naquan. I like Brother Yawal. I like Captain Tazariot. I like a lot of brothers. So the Most High God has favorites, sis. So there's nothing wrong in that. Nothing wrong at all. Priest Zabak, some of the great teachers, so let's get the favorites of the Most High. Even the Most High God has favorites. Most High God has a favorite tribe. Think about it, man. Christ is his only begotten son, and he comes out of Judah. So that kind of gives you a hint at who's the Most High God's favorite tribe. So even the Most High God has favorites, man. A lot of times people don't understand that, but he does. What I want? Sons. What brother know that precept? Or sister? I'm always want to test where y'all memories are. Who knows the precept? Shalom, brother Don Israel in the building. Shalom. It says, in Judah is God known. So yes, the Most High God has favorites. Everybody has favorites. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 76 and verse 1. And it reads, "In Judah is God known. His name is great in Israel." So we see the Most High God saying, why didn't he say in Israel? You know, it's literally showing a reference to one of God's favorite tribes. You know, not to say that he doesn't like the other tribes, you know, but people have favorites. God has favorites. And who are we to say anything against what God has favored? He has that right. You know, even with moms and dads, they may say that they don't have a favorite child, but low key they do. You know, I'm pretty sure you love all your children, but you're not gonna love that one that's always been disobedient more than that one that is always obedient. Yeah, you love them, you know, you'll give your life for them the same, but you got a little bit more love for this one that's always in order, the one that you know is always obedient. Y'all should obviously know this is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 5, one of my favorite chapters, man. You know, because when I first came into the truth, and I'm just like everybody else in Christianity, thinking that, you know, since God created everybody and everything, he loves everything the same. So this was a eye opener when I actually read this chapter. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 5 and verse 23, and it reads, "And said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen the one only vine." So of all the trees and the multitudes of wood that is out there, you got the cedar tree, you got the box tree, you got redwoods. Out of all the plants that are out there, the Most High God's favorite is the vine. It's the vine, not the cedar tree, not none. It's the vine. He's literally telling us these things. Verse 24, "And of all the lands of the whole world that has chosen the one pit." So when we're reading the scriptures and it talks about pits, it's talking about particular land masses. Like in the book of Revelations, the key to the bottomless pit is making reference to a landmass. And that landmass actually is Europe, because they really have no natural minerals. It's kind of like a wasteland because Esau have eaten up all the resources. You know, it says of all the lands that are upon the earth, his favorite land is Israel or Jerusalem. It says, "And of all the lands of the whole world that has chosen the one pit, and of all the flowers thereof, one lily." So we see that God's favorite flower is the lily. Verse 25, "And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river." What river is that? Going into the Jordan River. "And of all the builded cities, thou hast hollowed Zion unto thyself." Meaning of all the cities that God created, his favorite city is Zion or Israel. Verse 26, "And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove." So of all the multitudes of birds, you have eagles, you have vultures, you have condors, you have ostrich. God's favorite bird is the dove. That's why we see the instance to where he had the dove pass by when John the Baptist was doing what? Baptizing Christ. You know, all these things have great significance. It says, "And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove, and of all the cattle that are made, that has provided thee one sheep." So of all the cattle, all the beasts of the field, the Most High God favorite is the sheep. So we see the Most High God has favorites. So it's nothing wrong with that, sis. Verse 27, the kicker, "And among all the multitudes of people, there has gotten thee one people. And unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all." So we see of all the multitudes and ethnicities and races that the Most High God created, God chose the children of Israel. And it's still that way to this day. Captain Tazariak battling this wicked brother, talking about, is Israel God's still chosen people? I mean, come on, man. And I mean, Captain Tazariak murdered him, man. Like he always say, body bag. You know, he murdered him. Like, why is that even an issue when throughout the scriptures he tells us, as long as the sun and the moon and the stars are here, then Israel will be God's chosen people forever. So there's nothing wrong with that, sis. Yeah, even in that, Brother Lamar, like you say, just strengthen yourself in that. Like I always tell brothers and sisters, Like when I first came into the truth, understanding Paul's letters was one of my weak points, especially Romans chapter 7. So I must have watched the class maybe 10, maybe 20 times to make sure that I got it down pat. Brothers have to literally put that particular time and effort in to understand that thing. Brothers probably go over class 1 or 2 times. Brother, you know you ain't got it down pat in the 1 or 2 tries, and then you be feeling sorry for yourself or mad because you ain't got the understanding. Brother, go over it as many times as you need to get the understanding. Like literally take it precept upon precept, line upon line, man. Take your time, you know, and take those things in and making sure that you understand what thou readest. Uh and brother Stop Line said, thank you, brother. The crazy part, it was about 12 of them. And in the world, I would have left, but the spirit was on me so hard I couldn't leave. One by one, they left. All praise, man. That was the Most High, man. Because we know that the word is a weapon, man. A lot of times you use the word, man. They don't like it, man. The word is a fire. Let's get that, man. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah 23. The word is a fire, man, and it burns them up. Hebrews 4 and 12. Precepts that Captain Yar was bringing over. We had a great class yesterday, man. We pray that brothers and sisters go back over that class. You know, it keeps brothers and sisters inspired and doing the work of the Lord, putting the Most High God first, man. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 29. And it reads, it's not my word like a fire, saith the Lord, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. So when the Most High God's word comes out, it burns people up. Physically and spiritually, man. They can't take it, man. Like I say, if it's too hot, get out of the kitchen, man. You know, hey, it burns people up, man, because it gets and it hits to your spirit and on how you really are. You know, it makes you feel some type of way. If it didn't, brothers and sisters wouldn't feel no type of way. You know, like I said on Friday, the weed be letting you know. No, the scriptures be letting you know where evil lurks. The scriptures do that, man. You know, you bring out a scriptures prime example. We bring out Deuteronomy 22, verse 5 on the sisters that can't stop wearing pants. You know, we ask us, sisters, it's hard for you to stop wearing pants. Bring Deuteronomy 22 and 5 out, man, they feel some type of way. Or a brother that likes shaving his beard, we bring out Leviticus 21, verse 5. It make them feel some type of way. Well, I ain't cutting my beard. I don't think God cares about that. But then we actually just read these things and it convicts, you know, as it's supposed to. You know, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 4 and verse 12. And it reads, for the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So we see these things, man. The Bible discerns spirits that you deal with. You know, it can tell if brothers got familiar spirits on it. If brothers just always steady asking about one particular subject, man, that thing has taken hold of them. That's a familiar spirit, man. I can't lie. Brothers know, sisters know what familiar spirits that they have on them. Whether a sister can't get in order with a husband, or whether a brother can't stop lusting, or whether a sister can't stop smoking, or whether a brother can't stop drinking to get drunk, man. These are familiar spirits that, guess what, brothers and sisters must constantly be trying to overcome, man. Because if you don't, hey, Christ is gonna come back and kill you. You know, it's just that simple. No, I put in there Sirach 44, verse 11. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. The Lord had wrought great glory by them. That's right. Great precept. Shalom, shalom, Brother Vic, how you doing, Shalom, shalom, Now we was on I had just read 2 and 3 Zechariah 7 and 9, precepts that brothers need to be having. Yeah, they say that, but remember, we don't even go by that, man. The Most High God controls everything, so I don't even believe in that heart machine. A lot of that stuff I used to believe in, until I came to the understanding of the scriptures, Now I don't believe that, you know. I don't believe that at all. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. You know, we have to let the scriptures dictate things on that. This is the book of Isaiah 29 and verse 8, 29 and verse 6, and it reads, Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and with great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. So we see that the Most High God visits the earth with bad weather, with tornadoes. Esau is not doing none of these things. These things come solely from the Most High. The Most High God is the one raging hurricanes. Think about it, man. You got the hurricane, the most strongest, powerful hurricane is on the same route as the transatlantic slave trade. That's not a coincidence, man. Most High God is bringing judgment on those people for doing us that way, man. Some of the most powerful is hurricanes, man. And it tear up Esau's East Coast every year. Another example of that, we have what we call Tornado Valley from Oklahoma to Texas. Guess what happened there? The Trail of Tears. It's not a coincidence why the Most High God brings the most dangerous weather in these certain places, where they had Esau and was killing the tribe of Gad. And if any fell behind, they will be shot or killed or left there to die. You know, so when you understand world history, understand meteorology, and couple it with the Bible, you can see these things clear as day. Clear as day, man. That it's the Most High God that's bringing these terrible storms. Another example, with earthquakes over there in, like we say, parts of California, LA. We know that's one of the most wickedest places on the earth. You know, where they're doing movies, constantly putting what LGBT type material to work on the minds and spirits of people to get them to agree with that lifestyle. Even in New York, man, wildfires. You know, the Most High God is tearing stuff up. That's him solely doing those things, man. Let's get some more. Let's go to the book of Habakkuk. No, the book of Nahum. Like I said, you never even heard Christians in Christianity Sunday worship church read the book of Nahum. This is the book of Nahum, chapter 1 and verse 3, and it reads, The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. So we see that the Most High God has his way in the storms. You know, those storms are caused solely by the Most High. He'll send the angels down to manipulate the weathers. You know, it's basically a spirit that he sends out. And like I said, that angel can manifest itself in the form of a tornado, manipulate the elements. This is the power of the Most High. You know, that's why people have a lot to understand about the Bible, man. A lot. They have no clue. A lot of people don't know that God kills, that God hates, that God has favorites. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 28, and it reads, There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire is a spirit, hail is a spirit, and famine is a spirit, and death. All these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. So we see that these things are spirits that the Most High God creates to exact vengeance on the earth. And I mean, we remember, I'm not too much into debates. I'll put it to you this way: if it benefits our people, yes. Like if we can have an opportunity to kind of debate, like Christian pastors over black church, you know, I kind of lead it to our brothers Zakari and them. You know, they do a great job at that. You know, but all praise, man, we appreciate that. we try to be, because like the scriptures say, well, we need to know a little bit about everything, man. We really do, because the subject can change so many times. You have to understand world history. You have to understand geography. You have to understand politics. You have to understand a lot of things when it comes to the scriptures, man. That's why I love the scriptures. It takes you to so many avenues. It really does, man. All praise to the Most High, that He's opening up our understanding to these things, man. Uh, Shalom, shalom. I don't want to butcher your name. Ahazarala. Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Got our ox in the building. WFI St. Louis. Shalom, ox. Y'all doing mighty works out there, man. Keep those things up, man. Yamin Israel. Smoke. Go ahead, Sister Day. Sister Day said she have a question. Is the book of Hosea two folds, both Hosea, whore wife, and northern tribe prophecies? Yes, it is, sis. So remember, the Most High God always have the prophets act out prophecies that He send forth to them. He always sends a sign. Let's get that real quick. Let's go to the book of. So He always send those signs out. Let me think about it. I want to say Isaiah. But as y'all already know, put the precepts up in the chat, man. Y'all got Soldier Battle Axes always putting great precepts. Got our brothers Dexter, Brother Dunn Israel. Brothers always putting great precepts up in the chat, man. Even the sisters. I want that Ezekiel. I just thought about it. All praise to the Most High. Ezekiel chapter 4. So whenever the Most High God sends prophecies on the earth, a lot of times He will have it sent as a sign through the prophets. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse. Let's start at verse 1. The book of Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 1. Thou also, son of man, take thee a towel and lay it before thee, and portray upon it the city, even Jerusalem, and lay siege against it, and build a fort against it, and cast a mount against it. Set the camp also against it, and set a battering rams against it round about. So the Most High God was having the prophet Ezekiel act these things out in symbolism of the Babylonians coming to destroy Jerusalem. Verse 3, moreover, take thou unto thee an iron pan, and set it for a wall of iron between thee and the city, and set thy face against it, and it shall be besieged, and thou shalt lay siege against it. This shall be a sign to the house of Israel. So we see the Most High God would have them act those things out in symbolism of the great judgment through the prophecies that He was going to have come upon the nation of Israel. So we see an example of this in Ezekiel. In the book of Hosea, it's the same thing, sis. So we start up. The book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 2, and it reads, the beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. And the Lord said to Hosea, go, take unto thee a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms, for the land had committed great whoredom, departing from the Lord. So the Most High God was prophesying and speaking through Hosea, telling them to take a wife of whoredom, symbolizing what? The northern tribe going what? Spiritually are whoring against the Most High. Meaning what? Choosing other gods instead of the Most High. So it's the same thing. He says, verse 3, so he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Dibion, which conceived and bare him a son. So Hosea is doing what the Most High God is commanding. Now, Israelites will take this and say that, guess what? We can marry whores. No, remember, this is symbolism. Because in the law, it literally tells us, do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to become a whore. Even in the book of First Corinthians, it tells you don't make your members the members of an harlot, because y'all will become one. So no, remember, this is all symbolism and speaking through prophecies, specifically through Hosea. So no, brothers, we cannot buy prostitutes. Don't take a whore to wife. No, that's why you have to choose and prove a righteous brother or a righteous sister. Verse 3, so he went and took Gomer, the daughters of Dibium, which conceived and bare him a son. So yes, sis, this actually did that, and this is twofold, symbolizing what? The spiritual whoredom that the northern tribe of Israel committed against the Most High. Verse 4, and the Lord said unto him, call his name Jezreel. For yet a little while I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause and cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. So we see where a lot of these prophecies played out. You read about Jehu, how he was commissioned to kill all of Ahab's 70 sons. Then later on, Jehu kind of went off. So a lot of this is grounded in the history of First and Second Kings and First and Second Chronicles. So the Most High God had the prophet Hosea had 3 kids by his wife that was a whore. So yeah, that is double fold, sis. That's a good question, sis. Yeah, thanks, Ak, for putting the numbers up, because I sure forgot. Shalom, Brother Joe, how you doing? Rest I put 532 years and it's counting over this damn captivity. So if you minus, like we say, what is it, 1492 by 2024, it's the biggest way over 430 years, Shalom, Brother Jonathan. Shalom, Ak. Says Lady Dash, I honestly think it would help you guys channel grow if you guys somehow get scholars or profession debate on this channel. I mean, the Most High God to grow us in time, sis. I ain't gonna lie. That I'm speaking as a man. That's the work that you put in. You know what I'm saying? That's what you get back out. So hey, if the Most High God put on our spirit to do that, sis, we'll most definitely will. We just try to be led by the Spirit, sis. That's basically it. No, I understand what you meant, sis. Christian colleges, we understand. It says Cap is 2 Ezra 7:29, talking about Christ being crucified in the past. It's been on my mind for 72 weeks. 2 Ezra chapter 7 is a heavy chapter talking about Christ. That's where Ezra was prophesying about Yahushua. That's exactly what it's talking about. I know we kind of went over this class years ago. That's exactly who it's talking about. This is the book of 2 Ezra. And like I said, that also goes into the book of Daniel, chapter 9, going into the 70 weeks. This chapter within itself is very, very heavy, very heavy. I did a class on that going into Daniel's, the 70 weeks. Brothers and sisters, more than welcome to look it up. Go to Battle Axis, type in Daniel 70 weeks breakdown, and you'll see it in-depth breakdown. This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7. We'll start at verse 27. And whosoever is delivered from the said evils shall see my wonders. For my son Yahushua shall be revealed with those that be with him. And they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. And after these years shall my son Christ die, and all men that have life. So this is exactly what it's going into. This is the Most High God giving prophecies to the prophet Ezra to prophesy about Christ. And they will always say that the Apocrypha is not canon. Oh, it doesn't talk about Christ. Well, you literally have it saying Christ right here, man. So now what's the damn excuse? So yes, this is talking about how Christ is going to be on the scene. Remember, it's given specific numbers. That's why it's pivotal that brothers understand what is the time period of the captivity. So we know that the Persian and Mede captivity was approximately about 538 BC. And then it said within 400 years, going into almost 1st century AD. So this lines up perfectly, man. There's no way you can get around it. Literally talking about how Christ was going to come on the scene in verse 29. After these years shall my Christ die, and all men that have life. That's exactly what it's talking about. I don't know. You may have missed a lot. It depends on how long you've been gone. Shalom, shalom, Sister Ramonica Wade. Shalom, St. Louis. I'm down in Kansas City, Missouri. 2nd Ezra chapter 5. I know I'm late. I know I'm real late with reading these things. Shalom, Brother Balad in this thing. 2nd Ezra chapter 5. They put the precept. He said we want to set up a date to bring it out down there. All praise, man. That'll be a beautiful thing. A beautiful, mighty thing. Brothers could link up, man. Isaac favored Esau, Rebecca favored Jacob. That's a great example of Soldier Ezra. Karen K, in your opinion, where do you believe the Holy Land to be? Well, according to the scriptures, like how we just read, the Holy Land is Israel, Jerusalem. Now, it's a now if you want to talk about the Garden of Eden, now that gets a little bit more heavy. But Karen K, the Holy Land would be Egypt or Israel. So, do you think it's in Africa? Because I know that this comes up a lot of times. I mean, sis, yeah, you could always ask. You know, the most I got put on your spirit, I'm gonna tell you. If the most I got put on their spirit, eventually they're gonna come out there anyway, because the Israelites, no doctrine can defeat the true understanding of the Bible. And we see that the Israelites is making the world come in an uproar for the true understanding and breakdowns that the Most High God has given us. You know, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I like Ratazan too. You know, we had a great count with the brothers, man. So I love to watch him. You know, I love that look debate that him and Deacon Akar had. You know, great debate for brothers and sisters that hadn't seen it. So yeah, I love Brother Ratazan. Him and Brother Aram, you know. Shot goes out to brothers in BOW doing a great work out there in California. Uh, Revelations 13 and 9, Blood Brother ENT, Jeremiah 5 and 14. Shalom, Sister Deborah and Sister Yael. Shalom, Sister Daniels. How you doing, sisters? Yeah, I do too. I know Soldier Ezra was saying he loved how one scripture can hold men on multiple topics. So, yeah, I love it too. I used to be Catholic, right, sister? So they Roman Catholic Church, pay for your education. Yeah, exactly. Shalom, Michael Marshall. Shalom. Who is the street preacher with the dreads? I love that guy. He destroys people with the truth. You have to give us more than that. You talking about a nine count? Only one I could probably think of is Soldier Razatok. Uh, or Captain Yari. All praise. I can say hold those with both hands. That verse in Nahum was 1 and verse 3. Talking about how the Most High God controls the weathers. Sometimes our own firefighters start bushfires to prevent it while get out of control. They keep it on the yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, either way it goes, the Most High God put it on their spirit to do that. So remember, man, all these things are in control by the Most High. It's nothing that doesn't happen on the earth that isn't controlled by the Most High. So even at that, it says he loved his one video, You Are Not Born. Yeah, that is. I ain't gonna lie. That was pretty funny. The one that Captain Yara did that went viral. You know, I think that thing's up to millions of views now. Infinite three chins. It says, do we like Jewish people or no? Well, by us understanding Jewish meaning not the original kind of sort of, we know that they are not the true people of the Most High. That's right. That's another great precept, Brother Dexter. Dexter put in there in Psalm 78 and 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and sending trouble by sending evil angels among them. It says, really, King, I know it was my Battle Axe family who helped me with their prayers. All praise. Sirach 5 and 15. Is that a question or a precept that you add into it? Oh, know a little bit of something about everything. Yeah. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 15. It reads, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small, meaning know a little bit of something about everything. That's right. It's a great precept. Fell suffered some spinal damage. I couldn't walk last week. That's right. Thanks, Ezra. Gat one, Turner, Shalom, Shalom. It says, do y'all like to get nasty? What are you talking about? Don't make us bring these scriptures out on you, man. You talking crazy, infinite three chins? Oh, yeah. You got Soldier Ezra already on. They got Soldier Donovan in the building. Shalom. Shalom to you and the family and the Zion, man. Busybody, man. Sooner or later, he going to be in here on the chat typing. It means to praise the Most High. I don't know if that know what you mean by that. Yeah, did that answer your question, Sister Adelia? Like I said, let me know. Give me some feedback on that, man. We need to go over more precepts. Says, I have a question, brother. Hope it doesn't sound crazy. Do the Most High God have a wife? Always want? No, he doesn't have a wife. It's him and him alone. So no. Remember, the Most High God is not bound like we are. The Most High God is full of power and full of the Spirit. So he's not tempted with temptations like that. So nah. And him alone. Now, Old Testament Israelites would take that and just abuse that scripture. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that it's only talking about, like we say, the Most High. Not saying that him and Christ are equal or any on that level. But the Most High God created Christ to create everything. But ultimately, it was just the Most High. Y'all know the precept. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 18 and verse 1. He that liveth forever created all things in general. So all the glory goes to the Most High. All the glory. Because guess what? Christ couldn't be used to create everything if the Most High God hadn't created Christ. If that makes sense to brothers. You know, keep that in mind, man. Like I say, there is no God. There is no one else besides him in that power, you know, on his level, for lack of better words. It says, I wasn't really working, Dash. I was just helping move. Shalom, Brother Cedric. How you doing, Doc? It says, stop line. I honestly don't know, but these guys. It says, some dumb trailer. Damn, you have to ask that. Crazy week. Yeah, and it's a lot. Shalom, Brother Damien from Jamaica. How you doing, So nowhere in the scriptures does it give an account of the Most High God having a wife. Like I say, he's not bound by those temptations that men like us deal with on this earth. So yeah, a lot of time, like we tell brothers and sisters, sis, like we say, you go through a proving process, come to class. You know, for brothers and sisters that are here at our headquarters in Dallas, Texas, you know, we prove and try brothers and sisters. Says, how many scriptures I can ask before I come here to Brother Damien, you know, brother, one scripture at a time. You want whole class breakdowns. Come on, man. You got other people in the chat. Come on, share. Play nice, brother. I'm gonna tell you, Infinite Three Chins, the Most High God gonna get nasty with you, man. and not in a good way. Stop playing, man. It says you should join regardless. Shalom, Officer Yaakov in the building. I know Ox said, didn't we break that down one day for you, Ox? It said, can he get an understanding of Sirach chapter 13? I feel like we broke that down. I'll be remembering a lot of these precepts, man. This is the book of Sirach chapter 13 and verse 15. Oh, yeah, plain scripture. This is the book of Sirach chapter 13, verse 15, and it reads, every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. This is just basically a scripture saying, gather to your race of people, basically. And the Most High God is comparing that to the beast or the animals of the field. It says, every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorted according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. Man, this is y'all know what this precepts with? This also precepts with what? Genesis chapter 6, where people literally think that angels came down to have sex with men. There's a precept that y'all can put with that one and also with 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 38, saying the same thing. Precept must be upon precept. Verse 15, verse 16, all flesh consulted according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb? So you don't see the wolf and the lamb in this present time doing what? Kicking it with each other. You know, you don't see them kicking it with each other saying kumbaya, because guess what? The Most High God's all the way spirit, for lack of a better words, all the way spirit is not on the earth yet. But it will come a time when you read in the book of Isaiah where what? Things will be totally back in order. Totally back in order, meaning where animals go back to a vegetation state. You know, kids will be able to play with snakes, God a lion, you know, all these things will be totally back in order. Let's prove that, man. Because I know that might go over brothers' and sisters' head. Let's get that. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 11. Let me read my other Bible. The book of Isaiah, chapter 11. Brothers and sisters, y'all know the precepts. You know, I be wanting to test. Are y'all retaining what the Most High God brings out? Are y'all taking notes on these things? Remember, man, these classes are needed, especially with the Q&A, because we touch on many different topics. So even when y'all reading in context and y'all have y'all notes written down on a particular subject, you can get a better understanding when you're reading it in context. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 6, and it reads, the wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. Meaning, Lord's will, we make it to the kingdom, man. We have our churches out there playing with lambs and lions. Man, you know how beautiful that is, man. You got your son, playing with a lion that you won't have to worry about attacking him like how they do Esau, man. I get a kick out of that thing, man. On Animal Planet, seeing how, guess what, those encounters go totally wrong. Because we know not to mess with those things, man, at this time, man. We know the Most High God's spirit is not all the way on those animals to where they totally in order. You know what I'm saying? So Most High God put the spirit on the line to tear Edomite up. You know, I love to see when they out there trying to hunt lions on an African safari and they can't load that gun. Man, that'd be some of the funniest thing. You know, I can't even lie. It says, verse 7, and the cow and the bear shall feed. Their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. So we see that the animals will go back to a vegetation state. You're going to see the bear and the cow playing together. You have snakes. All the animals, when the Most High God puts his spirit back on this earth, be totally in order. Verse 8, and the sucking child shall play on the hold of an asp. An asp is a poisonous snake. It says, and the winged child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den, meaning a baby, toddler. It's like you seeing little Zion play with a den of snakes. Lord's will. You know what I'm saying? So this is a great comparison. Verse 9 is the point. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. Man, that is a beautiful thing, man. Just imagine, like you say, you walking tigers, just y'all walking. We ain't gonna have them chained up like Esau in zoos trying to make money and all that. No, they're gonna be free to roam in their habitation, man. You know, that'll be a beautiful thing, man. Just imagine you taking a picture with a lion, man, in a bad garment or something. Say, that's something to behold, man. It really is. So that's all that's going into, Brother Damien. Let's go back. See if we finish. I see you put 18 in there. The book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 18. And it reads, what agreement is there between the hyena and a dog? Salaki, brothers and sisters. And what peace between the rich and the poor? So this is basically going in depth on how you should cleave to your like. That's all that this is going into. That's a heavy chapter, precepted with Isaiah chapter 11. I know Rezatok put 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3 in there. Knowing this first, there shall come in the last days scoffers. That's right, Ak. Shalom, shalom. Ak, how you doing, Ak? Brother Polo, man. How you doing, Ak? Glad you're tuning in, Ak. Yeah, whose class? Shalom, shalom, Brother Abraham. Sister Daya, she was saying, I was just reading this study guide on the women of the Bible and came across government. That's right. Started reading the book of Hosea, and that's how I came up with my question. Consists, yeah, Hosea is a very good read. Very good read. Talk about how the northern tribe went off, and ultimately the Most High God used that as a sign on how he was going to cast them off as a nation of people, you know, and bring judgment through them for going spiritually a horn. But he used the prophet Isaiah to do it physically. He said, and the GNB really helps. Man, you don't support us. He said, I was trying to see if you can see Lamentations 3:16. Let's see. Let's go to the book of Lamentations, see if it precepts with Psalms 23. Remember, Psalms 23 is going into what? The Lord is my shepherd. Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 16. This is the book of Lamentations chapter 3 verse 16, and it reads, he had also broken my teeth with gravel stones. He had covered me with ashes. It says, and that has removed my soul far off from peace. I forget prosperity. And I said, my strength and my hope is perished from the Lord. No, not even just reading that. Let's go get it. Because remember, Lamentations is a book of mourning, a book of woes, a book of how the prophet Jeremiah was documenting the destruction that happened to the Israelites during the Babylonian captivity in 586 BC. You know, how they just came in and destroyed it. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 23 and verse 1. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. I understand when you're going out, but I wouldn't precept that with that. But I do understand what you're saying. The book of Joe, I'm talking about the book of Joe. Joe, can you explain we wrestle not with flesh and blood? I want to get an understanding of the truth, but I thought our enemy was Satan only. No. Remember, Satan is an employee of the Most High. You know, he just does the will. So let's go to that. We wrestle not with flesh and blood. Let's get to that. Let's go to the book of Romans, if I'm not mistaken. Romans chapter 12. Is that it? Romans, maybe First Corinthians. Bear with me. Make sure brothers have the question. Make sure y'all try to get a Bible verse so we get straight to it. So I want to go exactly to the scripture that you are calling for, and I had to think about it. I just had it until my mind went blank. Not Galatians, Ephesians 6 and 12. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 12, and it reads, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So a lot of times this scripture is going into how it's not a physical fight that we're having. A lot of times to be in this truth is more of a spiritual fight, meaning you have to fight the demons that you deal with, whether a brother deal with porn, whether a brother deal with lust, whether a brother deals with, guess what, keeping his temple unclean by smoking, by drinking to get drunk, by eating unclean foods. This is what this is going into. You can't physically fight those things. No, the only way to fight those things is through the words of the Most High, by applying God's laws, statutes, and commandments. I'm going to read it again. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 12. "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood." So it's not a physical fight being in this truth, Brother Joe. You know, like we say, some of the things that you may deal with, whether or not you kind of want to put them out there so we can go deeper into it. Hey, that's on you. But I know some of the things that I dealt with was lust, smoking weed, selling drugs. When you come into this truth, you have to fight those things, and you fight it through the words of the Most High, going to the law, seeing where in 1 Corinthians 3 verse 16 it commands us not to defile our temple. So I know I can't smoke weed just by reading that law. Then going into Leviticus 19 verse 17, loving your brother as you love yourself. If I apply that law to myself, I know I can't sell my brothers and sisters drugs. That's what this is going into. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities." A principality is a spirit, demons that jump on you to cause you to do what? Go off from keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. Let's go to the book of 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. So no, you're not entirely wrong. We do have to fight Satan, and the demons that he sends. But we fight it with what? With the words of the Most High, by keeping the law. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." So this is what this is going into, meaning you can't physically fight Satan. You can't physically fight these spirits, but you can fight these spirits by doing what? Keeping and applying God's laws, statutes, and commandments. And for brother lacking understanding, you getting your study habits up. 1 Timothy 2 and 15. The answers and the spirits that we deal with and the demons that we deal with, it's an answer on how to fight those things through the scriptures. Some spirits you have to constantly do what? Pray and fast, like Christ said in the book of Matthew 17. Some spirits won't come off of you unless you fast and pray. It says, "I want to get an understanding of the truth, but I thought our enemy was Satan on." Well, and let's give it an example of that. Let's go to the book of Matthew. Similar to how when Satan came to Christ, Christ literally gives you the way to overcome those things, man. So that's a great question. Let's go to a great example on how you overcome those things. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 1. It reads, "Then Yahushua led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was in afterward and hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread." So we see the tempter coming. trying to get Christ to do what? Go into vainglory. It says, be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. So when Satan came to Christ and was trying to get him to go against God's law, statutes, commandments, how did Christ defeat that spirit? He defeated that spirit by doing what? Going to the Bible, quoting scriptures, letting them know like, hey, I'm not going to be overtaken by these things. Going to what? Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3. Let's get that. And this is something that you always have to do. Like we say, because like we say, it's not a physical fight, Brother Joe. You know, you can't fight these spirits, man. You'll be like, what's the brother name? Boys in the Hood, when he was mad that time, swinging at the earth. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8 and verse 3. And it reads, and he humbled thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not. Neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee to know that man did not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Lord doth man live. So we see the account when Satan, when these particular type of spirits come upon you, knowing that you can't physically fight them, you have to fight them with the words of the Most High. Let's go back. This is the book of Matthew. Chapter 4 and verse 5. Then the devil taketh them up into the holy city and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple. And he said unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Let's see what Christ said. It says, Yahweh shall say unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. So each time these particular spirits come to you, it's always a what? A Bible verse to combat that particular spirit. So that's what that means. You can't physically fight these spirits that come upon you. All you can do is fight these things spiritually. Let me know if you understand that, Brother Joe. Yeah, for real. Tell him, my brother Dexter. Is it? And also Hebrews 13:14 with Isaiah 52. It says Hebrews 13:14. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 14, and it reads, for here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. Well, no, you're all right. 52 and verse. Depart ye out from thence. No, yeah, that's, yeah, nah. Remember, that Isaiah 52 and 11 precepts with Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. That's what we was going over yesterday in class. So, no. Isaiah 52 and 11 precepts with Revelations 18 and 4. Jehovah's Witness had me thinking that as a kid. Yeah, they had a lot of us thinking crazy stuff. You know, the spirit was thinking that same kind of support. John 8 and 44. See what I put up in there. Oh, he was of his father, the devil. 54 and 17. All the scriptures are the best scriptures. E-love is real. His whole family's in that rotten ass coat. It says, in that day I will make a covenant with them with the beasts of the field. That's right. Make them to lie down safely. Hosea 2 and 18, another precept. Proverbs 26 and 3. All right, chins, but they finna start unloading on you. They whip for the horse and they bride for the ass and they ride for the fool's back. That's right. When they come clumsy ass, being them damn, trying to run from them animals. That's right. Yeah. Is that 2nd Ezra 6 and 54 to the end? That's right. Isaiah 14, the book of Obadiah. That's right. I'm gonna tell you, man, all you doing 3 chins is yeah, scoff on her. All you doing is having brothers line you up with the precepts. He said, "Lil Zion only." He only chilling with dogs right now. Lord's will he get a pet line. Lil Zion, but he gonna be riding that thing all over, man. That Lil Zion, something else. My name is Benaniah, not Ben Nahanas. You gonna pay for that infinite 3 cheers. Keep on, man. I ain't gonna do them but stick the brothers and the sisters on your ass. I'm gonna line them up, bro. Lines and lionesses. They ain't gonna do them but just start sending precepts on you. You ain't trying to learn. Thanks, Ephesians. It's that Shalom. One scripture, James chapter 2, verse 15. Yeah, you know, Brother Damon, that should be self-explanatory. I think we kind of touched on that at verse 17. I know I brought that out at camp last night. You're gonna pay for that Benahana 3 chins. Just had the Most High God put a curse on you. I'm gonna tell you, man, you better watch out, man. You call the Most High God. I'm gonna let brothers and sisters in on the secret, man. At my job, I had I was a first pressman, but then I kind of messed up a little bit, and they demoted me, and then put an Edomite over me that I was damn training. Man, I asked the Most High God to jack his butt up. I ain't gonna lie, man. The Most High God told him up. He's like, Barrington, I went to sleep last night, man. I woke up with this rash on my leg. I'm like, man, what's wrong with you, man? Get away from me. He would always hit his leg on the press. I'm talking about there would always be something wrong. Then he wasn't doing the right work. He would ask me to help, and I'm just looking at him like, I ain't helping you do a damn thing. I'm talking about, man, he didn't have that job for 3 weeks and got fired, and they put me back up there in that position. Boy, I was like, man, look at the Lord, man. All praises to the Most High. So you better stop playing infinite 3 chins. Yeah, I can put some great precepts up in there. We got 2 raw twins up in this thing, man. It says, how do we properly fast? I quit drugs, drinking. I decided to wait for marriage, for relations. I quit cigarettes. What you mean? How you quit cigarettes 75%? You need to quit at 100%. Sis, you can do it. Prime example, my wife. My wife smoked cigarettes for a long ass time. And guess what? Most High God took that spirit off of her, man. So you can do it. You can do those things, man. But you fast. Let's get the fasting precepts, brothers and sisters, man. Yeah, we don't agree with that. The violent drug rap culture, we don't subscribe to that. We listen to Hebrew music, man, uplifting music. We don't subscribe to that, man, and we're against that. Evil communication. We'll get that next. Let's go to the fasting precept. Let's go to the book of Jonah, a book that you rarely hear read up in there unless they breaking it down wrong. This is the book of Jonah, chapter 3 and verse 1. So the people of Nineveh believed God and proclaimed a fast and put on sackcloth from the greatest of them even to the least of them. For the word came unto the king of Nineveh, and he arose from his throne, and he laid his robe from him and covered him with sackcloth and sat in ashes. And he caused it to be proclaimed and published through Nineveh by the decree of the king and nobles, saying, neither let man nor beast, herd nor flock taste anything. Let them not feed nor drink water. So to properly fast this, you don't want to eat or drink anything for a 24-hour period. Preferably from sundown to sundown, sis. Let's get there in the book of Leviticus. So no, it's not a Daniel fast like how church teach you. No. Proper fast is going into the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse, what do we want? 23. And it shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest. Meaning, brothers and sisters, have to prepare for the day of atonement as well that's coming up. And ye shall afflict your souls, because that's what you're doing when you fast. You're afflicting your soul. You're trying to discipline yourself ultimately to not give your body it what it wants. It says, it shall be unto you for a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even, from even unto even. So you want to make sure that you start your fast in the evening and it lasts to the next evening. So no eating, no drinking from even to even. You understand that? Just a few precepts. And like we said, brothers want in-depth, sisters want in-depth breakdowns. Go to Battle Axis, type in how to fast. We have plenty of videos to where you can get an in-depth breakdown on these things. Let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians. Because even with Infinite 3 Chances said, what do you guys think about listening to violent drug culture rap music? No, we don't like it. And the Bible doesn't subscribe to it. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 33. And it reads, be not deceived. Evil communication corrupt good manners. So we see those things as evil communication. Because when our people listen to those things, people constantly program them to sell drugs, to whore after sisters, to kill each other. That's all that culture does, is brainwashing our people to basically hate one another and to do harm to one another. So no, the Bible doesn't approve of it, and we don't either. Yeah, they, that's Captain Yar in this thing, man. Everyone good. Love getting that boot. Brother, what scripture was about the woman that poured oil on the heavenly brother? I think it was Matthew, yes. Well, no, that was Christ. It was a sister. That's what we always bring out at the end of camp. Uh, Matthew's 26 and 6. But it also tells you who that woman was. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 6. Now, when Yahushua was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? So we see this sister anointed Christ's head with oil because she understood what was about to happen to Christ. Let's get who it officially says it was. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 12 and verse 6. This is the book of John, chapter 12 and verse 6, and it reads, This he said, not that he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief and had the bag. Let me jump up. Let me jump up to verse 2. This is the book of John, chapter 12 and verse 2. I have to change my notes on that. There they made him a supper, and Martha served, but Lazarus was one of them that sat at the table with him. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed the feet of Yahushua, and wiped his feet with her hair. And his house was filled with the odor of the ointment. So we see that the sister that did this was going into Mary. Let me get let's go back to Matthew's 26 and 7. The book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 7. There came unto a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment. So we know that this ointment was going into spikenard, and poured it at his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? Now, even reading down, we see the disciple that it was. It's going into Judas Iscariot. You know, Let's go back. This is how you go precept upon precept. Because Matthews goes into a little bit. John kind of gives you a little bit more details on who the person it was, who the disciple it was that didn't, who the woman it was that anointed Christ's feet. The book of John, chapter 12 and verse 4. Then said one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, which shall betray him. Why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor? This he said, not that he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief and had the bag and bare what was put thereon. So we see that Judas Iscariot had a wicked spirit, man. Wicked spirit, man. So we see that this sister was going into marry the brother of Lazarus. Daniel's 9:3. Was that a question on this? Is chewing gum is a good way to help with that oral fixation of smoking cigarette. Praise Luke chapter 2, verse 37, Isaiah 58:3. Great precepts that sisters putting in the chat, brothers and sisters putting in the chat for fasting, sis. So you want to make sure that you do write those things down, man. Write those things down. Like I say, you must pray and fast. Also, Sister Boyd putting her Matthew chapter 17, verse 21. It says, well, that's right. I'm 48 years old, been smoking since I was 16. Like sis, I slowed down a lot, but still fighting. Yeah, you got to shake it out. And I'm going to tell you, brother, stop lying. Make sure, because I'm going to tell you, man, you can invite more spirits on you. Because think about it, when we out there trying to teach our people who they are, what's the first thing that you say? Our people always want to call us out. So you want to make sure that you get yourself right before you even go out there to do that. And I would suggest don't even do it either. Till you probably get one or two more brothers, till you get yourself right. Things have to be done decently and in order. Because one of the first things our people do, what do you smoke? And they be ready to do what? Find fault in us. So it gives them an excuse not to get their life right. So I would just suggest don't even do it till you get right. So you shake that smoking 100% out. You can do that thing, man. One thing you got to do, you got to pray for the fear of the Most High. Like if you put that cigarette to your lips, the Most High God gonna snatch your lips off, or snatch one of your lungs out, man. That's the fear that I prayed for, man. And you can do it, man. You can do that thing. A lot of us had that smoking demon on us, man. Only program I'm gonna tell you that you need is the Lord's program, man. Going into what? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 12, and neither herb nor my mollifying plaster that restored them to health, but God's word. You constantly going through the word, man. It convicts you in your spirit. You know that the Most High God brings judgment on us in the form of sickness and bad health in situations like those. He can give you cancer. It's a lot of bad that can come with it. I said Dick said one thing that helped him, where I specifically prayed and asked God to take the desire away, walk away. That's right, you still have the desire. I said, that's right. I said, you can stop. So just remember, Christ is with you. Act like you're right next all day. It takes some real discipline. That's right. It takes real discipline, man. But you can do it, man. Just can you edify me on not biting off more than I can chew? Yes, I'm gonna tell you that is what a lot of times brothers do. I'm glad that you said that question, Brother Mike. He said, can you edify me on not biting off more than I can chew? I have a bad habit of getting involved into debates. A lot of times brothers have to understand, sisters have to understand, when you come into this truth, don't get puffed up. Brothers get puffed up. Brothers know 5 precepts and ready to come back. Then the Most High God send the spirit out there to confound you behind. Then you looking crazy. I know, because guess what? It happened to me. So a lot of times we bring these things out because of examples, Paul let us know, like we say, hey, knowledge puffeth up, man. Knowledge do puff up. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 1. Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifies. You have to understand and take on that charity spirit. And you have to understand that, guess what? Don't bite off more than you can chew off. Because coming into this truth is in stages. When you first come into this truth, you have a zeal for the Most High God. You want to think you one of the mightiest brothers, but guess what? Sometimes you can bite off more than you can chew, especially if you're not studying enough. And a brother that's getting studied up is not busy trying to debate brothers, because guess what? You're trying to make sure that you have a good understanding in the totality of the Bible. And that takes a lot of time. I always tell brothers and sisters, even before I came into the truth, I literally took that time. And it was a blessing that the Most High God put it on my spirit like that way. I literally came into the truth and just studied for about a year and a half, because I was just so consumed with the videos, with the Bible, always having a Bible, but not actually reading it. When I actually started to read it, how much information and how much history and wisdom and knowledge was in it, that took me over. So I understood I was just consumed with taking notes, watching the videos, taking notes, making sure that I understood the Bible and was able to teach those things. You know, in certain matters that I did understand, like I was telling y'all in Romans chapter 7, I made sure that I went back and meticulously went over it time and time and time again. You know, so you have to watch out for those things, because knowledge will puff you up. It'll puff you up, man. That's you also have to pray for humbleness as well. I'm thinking of another precept, but that most I gotta put that on my spirit real quick. You also have to pray for humbleness. That's one of the main things. Because we know, like I say, brothers coming to this truth, man. Brothers just got 2 or 3 precepts, and hey, you off to the races, man. I was just I don't know why I don't find that one. Bear with me, brothers and sisters. But that's one of the things, like you say, you want to make sure that you do go over precepts concerning humbleness and meekness. Look at the examples that we have for being humble and meek, going into Moses according to what? Numbers. Numbers chapter 12. That's not the one I wanted. Let's go to the book of James, chapter 3 and verse, is it 13? Let's get that right quick. I was looking for something else. I'll paraphrase and see if one of my brews could put it in the chat for me. This is the book of James, chapter 3 and verse 13, and it reads, "Who is as a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom." So you want to show your conversation. You want to be able to tell brothers and sisters about these things. First of all, you want to make sure that you are qualified to do those things. First of all, if you're not even qualified, like we tell brothers, brother, if you just got into the truth a few months ago, brothers, I would just, it's nothing wrong with telling people about the truth, but you have to understand that conversation goes manifolds. So they always gonna want to go here. They always gonna want to go there. They always gonna want to jump to another subject. You have to understand, like, hey, I'm new myself. I'm just letting you know about it. Point them into the direction to the people that you learned from. Give them their phone number, and if they, guess what, uh serious about it, they'll give brothers a call. But you want to first of all make sure that you're equipped to do those things. And first of all, if you're having that conversation, you want to make sure, according to James chapter 3 verse 13, that you having that conversation with meekness and humbleness, being able to edify people, because you don't want to turn into a debate. A lot of times that's all that they want, you know so that's one precept that you can kind of meditate on. Let's get some more right quick. No, I was looking for this one. No, not that one. Oh, one of this. Let's go to the book of First Peter, chapter 3, verse 15. Let's get that one right quick. This is the book of First Peter, chapter 3, verse 16, 15. But sanctify the Lord God in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. And that's the point that we really kind of harping on, Brother Mike. You want to do these things in meekness and humbleness, because think about it, Most High God didn't have to give you that little bit of knowledge that you do have. So you want to make sure that you do always use it, like we say, in the right manner and in the right spirit. Because just as easily as the Most High God can give it to you, he can take that thing away as well. Or he can make you be confounded in a debate. And it's like, dang, ain't nothing you can do. Let's go to the book. I know Soldier Ballah put this thing in the chat. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 10. And it reads, be steadfast in thy understanding, and let thy word be the same. I'm going to jump down to verse 12. If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. Meaning, when you first come into this truth, you're not going to have all the answers, man. You're not going to have a lot of answers. You need to know how to be humble and meek enough to say that. Well, brother, I don't know. But I do know this brother that I learned from. You can reach out to him if those brothers are serious about the truth. So those are the main two spirits that you want to concentrate on when dealing with that. Having that meek, having that humble spirit, and learning not to be puffed up. Don't be puffed up with that thing, man. That's right. Even like Brother Dexter said, because we wrestle not against flesh, but against spiritual weakness. Shalom, shalom, house of Brother Keenan, Sister Elaine, Officer Keenan Salaki. I used to smoke, but when I prayed and asked the Lord to take away the desire and taste, I woke up the next day. That's right. And it's just like that, man. But brothers and sisters have to be serious about that, man. Have to be very, very serious about that, man. Yeah, that's right, man. We want brothers to come over a year removed from that spirit. That's right. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 1. They say, brothers and sisters, know. I'm telling you, man, this time be going by. Like you say, time flies when you're having fun. Yes. The book of Ecclesiastes, great precepts, Sister Ramonica Wade put in there. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 1. Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. Meaning, you don't have to say a lot. A lot of times people can see the wisdom that is on you just by a look. Even in the book of Sirach, chapter 29, verse 19, a man is known by his look. How you carry yourself, how you do, these things show what you are, so you want to make sure that you get a good study habit first. It says, why did God choose Paul to replace Judas? Paul killed thou. Well, no, that's not correct, Lady Dasha. Paul didn't replace Judas. Paul wasn't one of the disciples. Paul was an apostle of Christ. An apostle is one that is sent out. A disciple means a student of Christ. Going into two different administrations, similar but different. Let's prove that. Let's see who replaced. Let me see if brothers and sisters remember who replaced Judas, brothers and sisters. Do y'all know who replaced? We, brothers and sisters, in class a couple weeks ago. We asked that question. Kind of periodically go over these things. This is the book of Acts, chapter 1 and verse 25. That he may take part in this mystery and apostleship from which Judas by transgression fell, that he might go to his own place. And they gave forth their lots, and the lot fell upon Mattathias, and he was numbered with the 11 apostles. So we see that Paul didn't take his place, but this brother named Mattathias took Judas Iscariot's places. But remember, even in that, when we go to the book of Acts, remember the Most High God can put the Spirit on anybody to change this. And he chose to take Paul. What better example? Brother killed his people, but guess what? The brother was able to change. And that's literally the point, sis. You may have brothers and sisters that didn't do nearly as things as Paul did. So if you didn't do nearly as things as Paul did and Paul changed, who are you not to change? That's the problem. That is the understanding of that. This is the book of Acts, chapter 9 and verse 11. And it reads, and the Lord said unto him, arise and go into the street which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Saul. So I know you may think that that's talking about Judas Iscariot, but no, it's not. One called Saul of Tarsus, for behold, he prayed, and he had seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in, and putting his hands on him that he might receive his sight. So you may have brothers with surnames. You had Cephas. One of his surnames was Cephas. You have Paul, even with King Solomon, where in the book of Proverbs chapter 30, one of his surnames was Lemuel, and also Jedediah. So this is one of Paul's surname. Verse 12 from the top. And had seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in and putting his hands on him that he might receive his sight. I'm going to jump down to verse 15. But the Lord said unto him, go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. So the Most High, is nothing for the Most High God to do what? Take a brother out of a dunghill and set him among princes. It's nothing for the Most High God to do that. One of our favorite precepts, we got 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3. That's light work. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 8. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon him. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. So we see that it's nothing that the Most High God can't do, Yeah, that's right. That's a great example. Even Dexter said that's why you study every day on random topics. And I study people that disagree with me, the significant points it hurts, but I don't. That's right. It'll take both sides. And guess what? Apply those things. It says, because there's lots of intelligent brothers out there. Y'all think, that's right. Another Captain Yara put in there, Titus chapter 2 and verse 7. Like we say, the book of Titus chapter 2, verse 7, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works, in doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, and sincerity. Like a lot of times brothers get puffed up and it turns into not being sincere about the truth. You just want to be seen as this great brother that know a lot of precepts. and use that to, guess what, entice sisters. Because a lot of times, don't be ignorant. Sisters can find that attractive in brothers that know the precept. And brothers know that, and they can pick up on that easily and secretly use that to their advantage. That is wicked as hell. That thing is wicked, Ox. So you want to make sure that you in this truth, being sincere. And then you go to the flip side too. Sister coming off to be a righteous sister, and just to find her husband, then y'all get together and you find out, hey, devil in a blue dress. You know what I'm saying? So you have to watch both sides of those things. Great precept that Captain Yard put up in there, a pattern of good works. He ran up to debate Sakari. I know brothers from Sakari tore him up. Shalom, Najaja. Shalom, sis. Yeah. Yeah, he may not come up on here no more. I know Hebrews 5 and 12. Yeah, that's what we're for. Yeah, you gotta make sure you control that spirit out. Because that puffed up spirit, man, that's a hell of a spirit, man. He says, but since we follow each other, he learned you wearing a head wrap like Barakai Mitra. That's what I call that. Why do people keep saying Christ is from the Middle East? Nazareth is in Galilee. I mean, that's the term that they use today. They not entirely wrong. Well, we know that they are, but it's just a term that they use today. On another level, they use that to kind of disassociate Israel from Africa. Not that we Africans, but that Israel originally was the land of black people. So that if brothers have ears to hear. So that's literally why they do that. Emphatically that Christ is not Middle Eastern. Boy, that's not even funny. I can't wait. Sure, all praise God. Yeah, and they try to use that to say that. TP on ice, Shalom, Ak, man. You got my damn wife laughing like hell. All you posting on Instagram is TP on ice, man. She came over and told me I couldn't do nothing but laugh. Hey, y'all, we gonna get Slim Debo up in this troop, man. His damn peg leg and all. This damn brother, man, one of my best friends I'm talking about since we was young. We're gonna make that nigga keep these laws, man. I'm gonna find his ass. Nigga don't want to keep no laws. Know all about it, man. We're gonna lock you in Captain Yara house. Next time he come over there, I can lock his ass up in there. It's gonna be like what's our boy name of Reed, nigga, Reed. Hell, what's his name, man? What's the show with the kids with Renee? The Boondocks. We're gonna get Slim Debo butt like that, man. That damn Slim Debo, man. His brother here is crazy. Yeah, a lot of people think that we are, but it's history books showing you that we ain't Africans. Uncle Ruckus, thanks, Reed, nigga, Reed. We're gonna lock his butt up in there. Thanks, Brother Moses. I know me and Ak was on a prime example. Me and Ak was on the phone debating this brother, man, for a while, man. So we see that, like you said, I had the right spirit. Like he say, I ain't gonna lie, that was a perfect example of what Brother Moses the messenger did. Like he said, I didn't understand. Let me get Ak on the phone. And guess what? Shoot, I was teaching, Ak was reading. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great point of a brother not being puffed up, understanding. Hey, get this brother on the phone to have a little bit more understanding. Hey, that's what brothers have to do. Not to say that you don't work on that eventually, that is the goal. But brothers have to understand you have to work on your craft. You have to work on perfecting your craft. knowing certain precepts, understanding breakdowns, certain breakdowns that brothers and sisters need to know. Y'all put in the chat, y'all should already know. Virgin birth. Understanding Christ had an earthly father and an earthly mother. Understanding that the law is not done away with. Understanding the 5 sets of laws. Understanding Paul's epistles and how to break them down. Letting you know who the audience that Paul was writing to. You know, understanding what Christ, that he was in the Old Testament, that he's in the New Testament. And one of the main things that brothers must understand that want to teach is prophecy. That's one of the main topics that a Christian cannot touch Israelites on. Prophecies. Going into things in the Old Testament that was being fulfilled in the New, and showing things in the New that hadn't been fulfilled. Showing how we the Israelites according to the Bible. You know, many, many things. Thanks, Ox. Yeah, about 2 hours. We was on that thing for a minute. You sure right. I ain't gonna lie, man. Some of these battle axe brothers is hell, man. Soldier Ezra. He's talking about, oh yes, that's some powerful niggardry in her. I ain't gonna lie, man. Them boondocks is crazy as hell, man. Soldier Ezra, that was funny as hell. That thing was funny, man. But oh nah, you know I got you, brother Moses, man. That brother Moses up there in Washington, man. East Coast. So we have brothers. I would say we just pray that brothers stay in here, get built up. So eventually we can have goddamn brother Lamar. I'm reading boondocks and finna say boondocks. So we can literally have battle axes and not boondocks in these particular areas where our people are at. You know what I'm saying? Where our people reside, man. Yeah, that's right. If you ever want to defeat a Christian, just go to prophecy, man. You know, that's all brothers have to do. Let's go to the book of First Peter's. Go to prophecy. This is the book of Second Peter's, chapter 1 and verse 21. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation. Why can it be of any private interpretation? Because it say, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, I gotta turn the comments off on these brothers, man. I can't even say what this brother said. I really can't even pronounce it. Look, y'all forgive Captain. Y'all, he didn't mean to put that on there. He meant to put battle docks on there, not battle axes. Y'all already know. I don't know how to. Yeah, these brothers and sisters is crazy, man. I can't even lie. Second Peter's chapter 1, verse 21. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scriptures is of any private interpretation. So we can't go because it literally tells us in the book of Genesis, chapter 49, Christ is going to come and teeth white with milk, eyes red with wine. We literally see that in the book of Revelations 1 and 14. We literally see him teaching the milk. You know, it says, for prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but by holy men. But by holy men of God spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost. So we see that's one thing that they can never touch us on, man, is the prophecies of the Bible, man. They cannot touch us on that, and that's what brothers have to equip themselves with. Yeah, I know Brother Mike said, Cap, I've been studying like crazy and I've made great strides to keep the commandments, but I have noticed that things are starting to come around, make me feel like this isn't the truth. Like I say, but I'm going to tell you, that's just Satan working on your spirit out. Because I'm going to tell you a lot of times what Satan will do, and that's why it's pivotal that brothers be on these things, man. You know, you dealing with some stuff, man. You want to make sure that you are constantly fighting to overcome those sins, man. Because Satan will play on you. Because brothers know that this is the truth because brothers bring out too many precepts that line up with historical facts. But I had to ask you, like what, Brother Michael? Name me some things, like you say, but you notice that things are starting to come around, make me feel like this isn't the truth. What are some of the things that make you feel like this ain't the truth, Doc? It's a wrong with Ezra, man. I'm laughing because we know how Ezra sound, man. These brothers is crazy, man. I'm gonna turn the comment boards off on brothers, man. Yeah, what are some of the things, Brother Michael? You know what I'm saying? That's what these classes is for. Brothers are not assured of these things, because you don't have the full understanding of certain precepts. That's what these questions are for, before we get up out of here. Do I need to bring you up? Let me just send a link in the chat real quick for you. Lord have mercy. Oh. Yeah, just click the link, Brother Michael, so you can ask me real quick, because I know there might be a lot to type out. See if we can help this brother out, man. What are some of the things that you may feel like this ain't the truth? Click the link, let's talk about it, man. Yeah, you really can't, Brother Lamar. These brothers is crazy. Captain's on down, man. When you know this is the truth, the demons come quickly, don't know the scriptures. Oh, yeah, Satan, yeah. That's another great precept, Mark chapter 4, verse 4. Great precept, Like I say, you have to be, yeah, I know, that damn Captain Yair. Mark chapter 4, verse 14. This is the book of Mark, chapter 4, verse 14. The sower soweth the word, and these are they by the wayside where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their heart. So we know, like Brother Michael going through, even by you trying to get into this truth, studying, getting your understanding up, Satan gonna come to try to take you away. Even going into the book of Sirach, chapter 2. Another great precept for new brothers and sisters, like we say, the ultimate pick-me-up chapter. When brothers and sisters are out of the spirit, the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright. This is the point that you at. Hey, you being tempted, now you got to set your heart aright. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. This is a time of trouble for y'all. So don't make haste, man. Don't let Satan work on your mind to sow doubt in your mind and in your spirit. It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. You have to understand, we doing this so we can increase Lord's will in the kingdom. That's what that increase is going into. He said it in Ezekiel 34, is that Yahweh shall gathering all the 12 tribes of the 1/3, not the elect 144. See if I still want to click the link, man. The invitation is open. I feel like a couple of more before we get up out of here, man. 34 and what? The whole chapter? You said Ezekiel? Yeah, which part? Because I know Ezekiel chapter 34 is going into wicked pastors, basically. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of God, unto the shepherds, woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks? So this is going into wicked pastors of Israel. We bring it up to today, is going into these Christian pastors because they Israel, and it's their job to teach our people that we are Israelites and what we need to do to get back in right standings with the Most High. And they're not doing that. So you have to ask what particular part are. Now we jump down to verse 28. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34 and verse 28. And they shall no more be a prey to the heathen, neither shall the beast of the land devour them, but they shall dwell safely, make them afraid. And I will raise up for them a plant of renown, and they shall be no more consumed with hunger. So that plant of renown is going into Christ because he is that branch. Shalom, out. Is that branch. So this is shalom, brother. How you doing? So Christ is talking about Christ in verse 28, 29, and verse 30. But the point that we want is verse 29, where it's talking about Christ. Brother Hosea. Oh, you said 12. Let me read this right quick. As a sheep seeketh out his flock in the day that he is among the sheep that are scattered, so will I seek out my sheep and will deliver them out of all the places where they have been scattered. Well, now this is just giving reference to how the Most High God is going to bring the nation of Israel back together again and basically bring us up out of all these countries where we're scattered. Verse 29 is talking about Christ, though. But shalom, brother Mike. How you doing?
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Hey, so just to clarify, so I'm coming into the truth like newly, maybe a year. Hold on, let me turn. I got y'all on my TV too. But anyway, I'm coming into this truth new, and I believe this thing, man. I don't have a problem. Like my spirit bear witness with the truth, just instinctually. But like I was beginning to say, I came from a Christian household.
Yeah.
So
Most of
for
us
me, sometimes I feel like I'm leaving what I always known to come over here. And that was always something that was like real heavy when I was taught. That's like the one thing you don't do. You know, that's like blaspheming against the Most High. You know, you to convert, that's one thing you can't be forgiven for. So that's one thing. And then just two, I was watching the class and you had already touched on this, but two is my family. You know, my grandfather's a pastor, my grandmother first lady. I grew up going to church, you know, Lord forgive me, every Sunday, Wednesday, and so on and so forth. And so coming into this truth, I know I'm the only person. Well, I can't say I know. Maybe the Most High is working on others in my family, but as far as I'm concerned right now, I'm the only one in my family that's coming into this truth. And I was always told, you're chosen. God got something for you. Always been separate from everybody in your family. I always been told that. I just never knew what that meant because I never knew I was from Israel. You know, I never knew.
That's
I
right.
never knew these things.
Yeah.
So it's like coming into the truth again. Like I said, I believe this thing, but as I'm noticing, I'm keeping my fringes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm starting to do certain things, and here I'm now things are starting to pop up on YouTube of like different debates of people, you know, debating this and that, and like I don't know, it's just certain things are making me go like I don't know, but then I come right back and be like, no, this is it. This right here is it. You know, I go back and read a scripture. I was just reading Matthew's 15:21 on down.
Yeah.
You know, Christ said, it's not me to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs. Man, that hit me.
That's right.
Yes, Khan. I feel that, you know. So it's certain things like that that'll bring me right back. But then certain things I kind of going off, and then certain, I kind of get into this and kind of get into that. So certain things make me kind of reflect and say, man, am I doing the right thing? Because my biggest thing, I just wanted to do the right thing. I just want to make it to the kingdom. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right,
Like,
Doc. And that's the point. And we totally understand that. And Christ is plain on how you make it to the kingdom. Matthew 19:16, about what? Keeping the commandments, having faith in him. If you got anybody that's telling you that we don't have to keep the commandments, and we literally read in the Bible what Christ told us to keep it, hey, we ought to obey God rather than men. One of the main things that I will advise you on, by you being new in the truth, you should have a counselor or somebody that you constantly kind of talk to kind of give you understanding. Because even when you're watching those debates are made to, guess what, stir you in one way or another if you don't have discernment.
right,
So one of the things that I would tell you to do, Ak, is pray for discernment, Ak, to understand like which is the right way and which is the wrong way. Even like what Captain Yara put on there, like we said, I was gonna go to, but the subject time, Matthew chapter 10, you know that Christ, the Most High God, is going to set a division between us. Let me get this right quick. The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 34. Then we'll go to another precept. Because remember, Most High God is not taking whole families out of this truth, because it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. So a lot of
right,
times, like my family, we grounded in Christianity too. They're not coming up out of that. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 34, and it reads, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I'm not come to send peace, but a sword," meaning a sword divides. So Christ came to bring division. It says, "For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against the father-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household." Meaning, when you come into the truth, that's the first enemy that's going to come at you, is your family. Because we have been so conditioned to be in Christianity and really not read the Bible to understand it how God wanted us to read. So it's going to be a contention up in the house, contention
right,
amongst the family. You got to understand that, guess what? Christ warned us about these things. It's going to be division. So when you see that division come, guess what? You understand that precept. Oh, I know this. This is just what the spirit, this is just how it's going to be. Guess what? Let me build up my spirit on certain precepts to, guess what, stay in this fight.
right.
These some of the main things that you must do, and not let Satan play tricks on your mind. Go ahead.
No, yeah, and calm, because that's literally what's been happening. Like I said, my spirit bear witness to this thing. Nobody had to explain this thing to me, man. How I came across the truth was I was getting ready to go off into the world. Like I said, I was raised in a Christian household, so I'm seeing that this thing ain't working how y'all preaching it. So I was getting ready to go off into the world, man. Talking
Yeah,
about, getting with spirituality and, opening your third eye and all this mess, and man, the Most High, all praises the Most High. Just I came across a video and it was the battle axes, So my spirit bear witness to this thing, and I agree, because there's certain times where, like, even right now, I'm realizing you were just saying you gotta fight these spirits off with the word. You can't fight them off physically, and I'm starting to really notice that, because everything I do, first of all, everything I do was wrong anyway. So now, coming to the truth, everything I'm doing is an edification, it's a correction.
that's right.
Everything I do,
That's right.
and then just even with my personal, I'm going to work, I'm going to walk the dog, I'm doing this and that. Man, I'm starting to see it's spirits everywhere, dog. Everywhere I look,
That's right.
everything is a temptation. Everything is a. I was just talking to Captain Yari the other day,
Yeah,
about just temptations and fighting temptations. I see it's like everything you do is a temptation. Man, a woman walk past you, you see her, you fight in your head, you like trying to fight your head not to look the other way,
that's
certain
right.
things like that, and I'm starting to notice those things. But to my point is, as I'm coming to this thing, I'm working on getting married and doing the right thing with my soon to be wife. But even her, we started keeping a Sabbath, and one of her friends asked her to go out on a Saturday, and she had forgotten. So she's like, "Babe, can I go out?" And I said, "No, it's a Sabbath. We can't go out, do nothing." And I realized then, because her friend mentioned, "Oh, you can't do nothing because your boy, your husband told you not. So what I'm
Yeah.
saying to say is, I see everywhere I go, every direction, even if it's a conversation I have with my soon-to-be wife, it's spirits coming in. Now she coming and telling me, "Oh, my friend said this is," you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yep.
everything is starting to leeway in a way that's like, I feel like I really, really, really need to buckle down. What I'm saying is, I can't teach myself. I'm starting to
Yeah,
realize
exactly.
that, like,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
studying a lot, but it's certain things I don't understand, and
That's right, Doc. And I'm gonna tell you, Doc, let's go to the book of Acts. And you know, they always, I know you know this precept, Doc, the book of Acts, chapter 8, verse 30. That's what these precepts are for, Doc. The book of Acts, chapter 8 and verse 30. And it reads, I start at verse 29. Then the Spirit said unto Philip, go near and join thyself to this chariot. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah and said, understand it thou what thou readest. And he said, how can I except some man should guide me? So when you're reading the scriptures, like, you do need brothers to guide you in this truth, because brothers may have questions. That's why we always doing a Q&A. That's why we constantly putting classes Sunday through Saturday on the feed, because a lot of times we're constantly going over topics that our people are going to be faced with continually. So you need, like you say, to watch class. Like you say, where you from? You ain't from the Dallas area?
I'm from Dallas, but I stay in San Antonio.
Damn. So, and one of the main things to help brothers get on a good foundation is by gathering with brothers, because have a different type of vibe, different type of spirit when you are actually in the building. Not
Yeah.
saying that you can't learn online, because that's how most of us came into the truth, by being online. But once you understand who you are, I'm gonna tell you, most High God compel you to drive up from San Antonio. We got brothers and sisters that drive up from Houston uh on weekends. You know what I'm saying? So, like we tell brothers and sisters, whatever you need to do to kind of get your spirit strengthened, the Most High God will make a way out. You have to congregate, man. That's Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 8. How can two walk together except they be agreed? You know, these things are pivotal for your growth in this truth. Let me read
Con,
this.
con,
Go ahead.
because I see that, because, like I said, like Captain Jeroboam said, I'm an individual like right now, man.
Right.
I can't do this thing on my own. But I have another question, Art, because I do have to get out of here and go to work real quick. But
Yeah, go ahead.
I do have another question. Just like you were saying, two is better than one. So I've already been trying to gather with a congregation, and
Oh,
like I
praise.
said, I'm in San Antonio right now. So my go to will obviously be the battle axes. But obviously I'm not out there.
Yeah.
But what do you know about GOCC, and like, do you agree with their doctrine? And
No, I
is
don't.
that a good body for me to? Because there's a body out here that's like right
Yeah.
across the street.
Well, according to the scriptures, I ain't gonna lie. When I first came into the truth, it'll require somebody that I watch. But as I started to get more understanding, I see that he wasn't lining up with "Thus saith the Lord." For one of the main reasons that Israelites don't agree with GLCC is because they let other nations come in amongst it. That's not in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? That's not in the scriptures. Yeah, that's
My
so.
fault. I'm not. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you out. So we see examples of that in the scriptures where Nehemiah said these things, man, and Ezra said these things. This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 6, verse 2. Let me see. I want to get straight to the point. The book of Nehemiah, chapter 6, and verse. Uh, So no, we see that. I'm gonna start with Nehemiah chapter 5 and verse 9. This is the book of Nehemiah chapter 5 and verse 9, and it reads, also I said, it is not good that ye do. Ought ye not to walk in the fear of our God, because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies. So even during this time when our people, Ezra and Nehemiah, was trying to rebuild the temple, try to rebuild our nation, the other nations wanted to come and be amongst us. So they knew, and our people have always knew not to allow the other nations among us because they was what? Our enemies. And we knew these things. Let me jump over. Come on. Open the letter. Business the wall. Bear with me. The book of Nehemiah. Book of Ezra. So we always have seen and always have separated ourselves from the heathen. This is the book of Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 3. And it reads, But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, Ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our God, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord God of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, had commanded us. So we see where the other nations wanted to come in among us, but we have Ezra, which was a righteous brother, and Nehemiah, which was another righteous brother, say that you have nothing to do amongst us. Meaning what? It's not our job to, guess what, allow them in. Why would we allow the other nations in among us when our nations are still in shambles? It's our job to do what? Have our people ourselves right. And then guess what? Lord's will, we make it to the kingdom. The Most High God is going to make them cleave to us. Thank you, Soldier Donovan. So they're going to make us cleave to us. So no, right now, you shouldn't have no other nations among us. So that's one of the main things that we disagree with Elder Rickon and GOCC. Even the Passover. Let's go to the book of Exodus. You had them celebrate Passover. Passover is not for the other nations whatsoever. You have them out there blowing a horn, the chauffeur at GOCC. It was a bad look, man. This is the book of Exodus chapter 12. This is the book of Exodus chapter 12 and verse 43. And it reads, And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, This is the ordinance of the Passover, meaning the law on how we should keep it. There shall no stranger eat thereof. So it's literally telling you that a stranger, meaning another nation, cannot eat of the Passover. That's just plain. Why would they need to eat the Passover when the Most High God was saving only Israel out of the hand of bondage? You know what I'm saying? So it's many scriptures that show you what the Most High God told us not to even mingle amongst these other nations. Let's get another one. Go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3, the classic. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 2, and it reads, And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite thee and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. So the Most High God said, don't make a covenant with them, don't make a friendship with them. So if we can't do those things, why would we want them to congregate among us? So yeah, we just don't believe in that. Yo, could you hear me out?
No, I can hear you, but I got a phone call. But
Oh, okay.
no, I can't because I just this last Sabbath, I went to go to see what they talking about, and as soon as I walked in there, now I to my understanding, we supposed to wear fringes, period, all day, every day.
Hey,
It
that's
don't
another
matter.
point. Yeah, that's
I
right.
walk in there and that's honestly because, like I said, I'm new to the truth, so I don't know everything. So I'm coming in with a humble spirit, but I do know I'm not going to go and to hear the wrong doctrine. So the first thing I'm looking for is who keeping the commandments. I'm looking for the fringes. Where the fringes at? I don't
That's
see the
right.
fringes. The second thing I see is I know we're not supposed to marry other nations.
That's
You
right.
know, and the first thing I see is Edomite married to one of the elders.
Yeah. You see that, and like I said in the book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 29, a man may be known by his look. So even like you said, that's what you first saw. Like they're not wearing fringes. They marrying the other nations. They bringing them into the congregation. Even like Soldier Donovan put on Nehemiah 13 and 1. On that day, they read in the book of Moses in the audience of the people. And therein was found written that the Ammonite and the Moabite should not come into the congregation of God forever. Even in Deuteronomy 23, verse 1, on down. you see the people that cannot come into the congregation of the Lord. So I mean, it's a lot of things that they are not lining up with thus saith the Lord. We love our brothers, but they going off concerning those things. That's why the scriptures in the book of First John chapter 4, verse 1 tell us to do what? Try the spirit. You know, we have to constantly try the spirit. The book of First John chapter 4, verse 1, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. So we see that. You see in fringes, and it literally tells you what Numbers 15:38 tells you not to make marriages with them, and they doing that. So
What what precept was that?
that was First John 4 and 1.
I appreciate that. I need that one. That was a good one. I need that one.
Yeah.
But there was one more question that I did have, but I
Go ahead,
forgot it.
Op.
I got to get out of here and get to work. So I just want to say, Shalom, Israel. I love
Well,
y'all,
praise
man.
God.
Appreciate it, man.
Like I say, reach out to any one of the brothers to answer that question when you got time, Op.
Shalom.
Shalom, Op. Good conversation with the brother, man. Even like uh brother Dexter was saying, humble, sincere brother, man. You know, and brothers and sisters have to be careful who they watch out here. You want to make sure that brothers and sisters are lining up with thus said the Lord. If the Most High God is telling us a law that we can do it, hey, then we can do it. You know, if he's telling us in the law that we cannot do something and you see brothers doing it and teaching it, hey, brothers have to separate from them, man. Try the spirit. Sirach chapter 6, verse 7, prove a friend. These things are, man, I'm going to tell you, man, these things are very, very important. And most of our brothers and sisters must pray for discernment, man. You got to pray for discernment and ask the Most High God to lead you into a good congregation, man. You know, because, hey, brothers are questionable, especially brothers from GOCC. They going off on that, man. You know, but if we don't have any other questions, we want to make sure that brothers and sisters understand that we will be celebrating the Tabernacles October the 17th, 18th, 19th, and the 20th. Shalom, brother Christopher Rodriguez. How you doing, make sure brothers, sisters trying to celebrate it with us, that you reach out to Battle Axe's leadership. The fees will be 100 for families, 90 for singles. Like we said, we already have the campsite where we'll be at. So make sure that y'all do reach out if y'all trying to be a part of it. Shalom, brother Ephra Bon Yasharala. Shalom, Shalom, shalom. But pray, like I said, that the Most High God increase brothers and sisters in the understanding that you may use it for the benefit of raising up the 12 tribes, 144,000, and the 1/3 of the elect Israel. Pray for discernment. Pray that brothers and sisters pray fast and stay diligent in this truth, man. Because, hey, Satan as a roaring lion walketh about seeking whom he may devour. We always tell brothers and sisters to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. We're just going to stay at First John, use this as a commandment. This is the book of First John, chapter 4 and verse 1, and it reads, Beloved, believe not every spirit. So it's literally us being commanded not to believe every spirit. You may have a brother that may have on fringes, may talk as a brother that's in the truth, but then his actions is not lining up with what he say. Even like Christ said, you know, in the book of Matthews, people speak to him with loving words, but in their heart they deny him, man. You know, I put another great precept, Romans 10 and 15. How shall they preach except they be sent? You know, beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. You know, so we want to make sure that brothers and sisters pray for discernment. Pray that the Most High God, wherever you at, congregate, that brothers and sisters are practicing a righteous rehearsal. I'm going to tell you, man, it's hard doing a walk alone, you know, where you don't have brothers and sisters that genuinely have your back and kind of keep tabs on you, making sure that you walking in the spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? You need brothers that's going to bring righteous judgment and correction out to you. A lot of times you ain't going to correct yourself, man. You're going to lie to yourself all the damn time, man. So you need to be around learned brothers You know what I'm saying? That's going to help build you up. That's going to be diligent. And guess what? Stand on you, making sure that you're going down the Most High God's path, man. You said you haven't been able to fast. I work in that sun. I'm going to tell y'all, I did it one time. You know what I'm saying? You have to pray. That's what prayer is for. Where the Most High God sends angels down to comfort you, to give you extra strength to push through in that fast. You know what I'm saying? This is the book of John, 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit, whether they are of God. How do we try whether they are of God? If they are keeping God's commandments. That's the litmus test for a prophet, man. You see a prophet that's teaching something he's not doing it, man. Come on, man. You know, don't go with that prophet, man. It's just plain and simple. Because many false prophets are going out into the world, man. You know, so it's very pivotal. If brothers and sisters ever need counseling, make sure y'all reach out to brothers in leadership, man. That's what we're here for, man. This 24-hour, 360-day a year job, man. You know, brothers put another great precepts, Brother Judah King, Sirach 27:7. You know, we want to make sure that y'all are trying the spirit, man. With that, we give our honor and praise to the Most High and to his son, Yahweh Shah. Rise, O Israel, Shalom. Shalom.